didn't get all of this. He punched it up. Oh, almost like they lost it in the sun, and Carrier just has to let it go. Let's go back to that touchdown by Willie Carter.
Yeah, let me show you how the middle of the field empty. Watch McGraw. He's going to come on the blitz. Here is Phillip Stewart. He's going to run with his man, and then it just opens up the middle of the field for Willie Carter working against Derek Matthews. Just a short crosser. They run the other linebacker off, and now it's just an easy throw and an easy catch because the middle of the field is wide open.
8 straight games this Houston offense has gone over 500 yards. Tulsa converging. They get away from the coverage. Tiptoeing down the line is Michael Hayes.
Just a quick screen to the running back. Watch the blocks down the field. Right there, number 88 doing a great job blocking down the field. That's E.J. Smith. And when these big plays happen, the wide receivers do a great job down the field.
This time they give it to Hayes on the draw, and he goes over the 45 to the 48-yard line. That'll be a pickup of 6 on the play. Hayes at least 1 touchdown in 9 of his last 10 games.
Yeah, they've got 3 running backs. We talked about the running back by committee for Tulsa, but Houston's got a running back by committee concept also.
Keenum over the middle, wide open is Patrick Edwards. Teams have tried to do everything they can to take away Edwards, not on that play. But let's look at your game plan, JC.
Yeah, for Houston, you just got to give Case Keenum time. If you do that, he's going to find guys wide open. They've got to use their quickness against the size of Tulsa in the run game.
Houston wanted to throw some packages in here that got Edwards a little more open. They run that little screen pass to Sims. And the Tulsa keys are this.
Well, we've already talked about Willie Carter. How effective can he be? Very effective in that first drive. And then on defense, they've got to limit the yards after the catch. Houston runs a lot of screens, a lot of short crosses. You got to be able to come up and tackle them, not allow the yards after the catch.
They give it to Sims. He looks to the left, cuts back inside on 2nd and 8. Gets to the 30-yard line, a pickup of 3. Cornelius Arnick on the stop and brings up another 3rd down for the Coogs. This is about where they faltered the last time, JC.
Yeah, and we've seen this offense a number of times. It takes them a couple of drives just to get to understand what the defense is trying to do to them. But once they get it figured out, then they've been a juggernaut all year.
They rush 3, they drop a couple of guys, but they still get the first down to the 22-yard line. Tyron Carrier on the reception.
Yeah, you can see him out of the slot. It looks like they're going to set up the screen outside, but then he just fakes the block and comes back inside, and now it's just an easy throw for Case.
And a fresh set of downs for the Cougars. Take the run, the little look-in, caught. Inside the 10, down to the 5-yard line is Edwards again.
Edwards is the guy. Just a quick screen. You're going to see the tackle come out and block. There goes Ashworth. And now you give Edwards the ball in some space, and now he can just use his speed and get up the field. That's the thing with these receivers. It's not like they just run by everybody every play, although they're capable. They get the ball quickly and make guys miss.
Pickup of 16, Hayes in the backfield with Keenum. First and goal from the 5. They try the right side. Diving in for the 6. Waiting for the signal. Touchdown, Houston. Patrick Edwards with the 6.
And a great job by Keenum. The timing on that play was a little bit off. Look how he had to just kind of push past that to Edwards. And now they've got good blocking down the field, and look at him lay out. All he's got to do is try to break the plane. Looked like he might have been a little short there.
Yeah. Well, before we go throwing it up on our scoreboard, we might want to wait as we look at Patrick Edwards, number 5 in the FBS with nearly 120 yards a game in receiving.
Again, they just like to get him the ball quick. Let him use his speed. Look at just laying out right here. Now the thing is, does it ever break the plane of the end zone? If it just breaks the plane right there, then he's good. It's not where he came down afterwards, right? But did he actually break the plane when he was in the air?
Now, Randy Smith is our official. He's on the headset down at the 30-yard line. Good look at Randy. And they will take a long, hard look at this one. Good look at Kevin Sumlin. The lower portion of your screen there was at the University of Oklahoma, has built this program. Houston, look at it again.
Yeah, and from this angle, you can't tell if it ever broke the plane or not. But obviously, when he came down, the ball was short of the end zone and the goal line. But again, that's a tough call, especially from that angle.
But when he was up in the air at the apex of his jump, he could have been over the goal line. We can't see.
Yeah, exactly. He could have been over and just pulled back on the tackle.
I think Randy has a decision, and we will listen in.
After review, ruling on the field stands, it's a touchdown.
And I don't think there was enough evidence
I agree.
to overturn it. It was ruled a touchdown on the field. So unless you can have conclusive video evidence to show that he never broke the plane, you can't overturn that call.
And Matt Hogan will attempt the extra point, the junior out of Keller, Texas. We take a look at the touchdown receiving leaders in the FBS. Hogan is also a leader. He set the NCAA record, 78 consecutive PATs this year. This will be number 79. And it is blocked! Corey Doris got his hand on it in Tulsa with a 1-point advantage. Just about midway through the first, Tulsa leading Houston 7-6. This week we've got another unbelievable day of action on college football Saturday, beginning with the FX College Football Game of the Week. Iowa State heads to Norman to take on the Sooners, while Rice takes on SMU. Then Big 12 rivals collide. Missouri against Kansas, followed by Texas Tech, squaring off against number 18 Baylor. Then in the nightcap, we'll go out west. Crosstown showdown. UCLA Bros taking on USC at the Coliseum. And our coverage of college football Saturday begins this week at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific in high definition. Jordan Manisno set to kick it away. Trey Watts will watch it go into the end zone. Let's go back to the block on the extra point.
Yeah, you got to be strong inside. You can't allow penetration. Watch number 93, Corey Doris, does a great job of getting his hands up right there. Got penetration as far as he could go, and then gets his hands up. You can see him right from the side. You've got to be much stronger if you're Houston in the interior of any kicking. Point after touchdown or field goals, you can't allow that. Houston's going to get great field position if they can handle the punt.
Then you're also kicking to Patrick Edwards, who is very dangerous. Has already returned a punt for a touchdown this year. Their catch is going to be called for as Edwards goes to his knees at the 45-yard line. 40 yards on the kick. Also still leading number 8 Houston by 4.
Time show. We'll take you around the country, show you some scores and highlights. And look at this game right here, though. You're a little surprised that Case Keenum and Houston are struggling a bit today against Tulsa.
He is struggling. I told him I was going to give him my Heisman seat. If he doesn't play better, I might have to give it away.
Talk more about that as well coming up on the Geico Halftime Show. Ron, JC, back to you.
Points in 11 straight games. They've scored 70 points twice this year. Don't let this score fool you, though.
Exactly. And I don't think that Keenum is struggling right now. It's just that nobody's made a big play for him. They throw a lot of screens, a lot of short crosses. They've done that all year long. But Edwards, Carrier, Justin Johnson, those guys are usually able to make a couple guys miss, turn a short catch into a long gain. Haven't been able to do that yet this first half.
Houston only one play of 20-plus yards, and Keenum on the little draw. Good chunk of yards close to the first down. Jeremy, talk about the Tulsa defense.
Well, a good matchup down here. Number 74, Rowdy Harper for Houston, the right tackle, going against 94, Walker. And also Brenton Todd, the defensive end. And so far, those guys, Walker and Todd, creating havoc for Case Keenum. Big sack for Todd. True freshman from Union High School, Ron.
It's Bill Blankenship's former school, and he obviously coached, won a couple of state titles with him. On second and short, Keenum with a play action. Deep into the flat, wide open, has his receiver down to the 20-yard line. E.J. Smith, the senior out of Camden, Mississippi.
And watch him just run this deep out route here. They clear out the zones. Kenny, it's a long throw from the far hash to the sideline, but he's got plenty of arm on that. It's wide open. When you play zone coverage too much, they're going to pick you apart. They're going to run zone buster plays. They run a guy off and then throw somebody under.
They fake to Hayes, and Keenum keeps it. He got knocked around and took a couple of runs last week. We see him get up a little gingerly there, but the coaches, they hold their breath every time he has to take off.
Oh, no question. And Keenum, he's capable. He doesn't do it very much. You see just the fake and now quarterback draw. Those are all positive yards for this offense. And then you have to start thinking run, and that's when Keenum just pick you apart down the field.
Second down and 5. We had motion on the left side of Houston's offensive line.
False start. 76 on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Well, they'll put him back 5 more yards, so now it'll be second down and 10 from the 20-yard line. Keenum has Sims to his left. Sims comes out of the backfield. They're looking for him down the middle. They got him, and he's got the touchdown.
He's the guy that they were really concerned about out of the backfield. Number 5, watch him just run right by Arnick. Arnick just gets stuck staring at Case Keenum. Charles Sims just runs right by him. You got to open up and carry that guy through the middle of the field. He was the guy that Brent Guy, the defensive coordinator from Tulsa, thinks that Charles Sims is the key to this offense. He's really concerned of, and that was one of the reasons why.
Well, they've had an extra point block. But this one will be good by Matt Hogan. But Keenum hooking up with Charles Sims. And Houston has their second lead of the ball game at 13-10. Well, Case is making a case for the Heisman, throwing his second touchdown pass of the afternoon. As we take a look at our scoring drive, only took them 4 plays. Now, does that demoralize this Tulsa team?
No, they've got to come back. But going back to the touchdown, I want you to watch the linebacker, Arnick, right here, number 32. He's got to carry Charles Sims, number 5, through the seam. Watch him just staring at the quarterback, flat-footed, and he's too late. He's got to get more depth because now he can't turn and run as quickly with a guy like Charles Sims. So you got to continue to drop, get depth, and then open up a little quicker and go hug that guy up. And that's why Sims such a concern for Tulsa coming into this game. They said whenever they need a big play, they look for number 5. They
Keenum, they run the little draw. And Hayes is going to be stacked up at about the 13-yard line. Pickup of about 3 on the play, and the clock is running.
And both of these defenses have played a tremendous first half against these potent offenses. Now going into halftime, going to be interested to see what kind of adjustments both teams make, especially offensively. See what they come out of the locker room with.
And Kevin Sumlin is probably going to be content with just going to the locker room with a 13-10 lead. And that's going to be the end of the first half. He is number 8 in the country. They want the Conference USA Championship, which would be played next week at the team that wins this game's home. Tulsa wants to win another Conference USA title. And Jeremy is with Coach Kevin Sumlin now.
Coach, defensively very aggressive in the first half, a lot of blitzes. Thoughts on their performance so far?
Well, you know, we've been kind of hit and miss all day. You know, Tulsa's a good team. There's a reason why they haven't lost a game in this league, and you know, it's the kind of game that you thought it would be. Our defensive effort's been pretty good up until that last drive.
Offensively, 13 points. Any adjustments for the second half?
Yeah, I think so. I think, you know, we've got to be able to take some shots downfield. The wind's a factor. You know, and I think both teams have been a little bit more conservative than normal because of the wind. But, you know, we'll be all right. We just got to be able to execute up front a little bit better. They showed us some new blitzes that we hadn't seen before, but that's all part of being in a game like this.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck in the second half.